Hi, this is Matt Renfro, and welcome to my Nearpod tutorial. This presentation is intended for all current and future educators seeking to utilize digital tools in their classroom. Digital tools like Nearpod have been showcased in my district professional developments as of late. Over the last year, we've had multiple professional development opportunities to explore Nearpod. I hope to show you what I've learned about Nearpod and how Nearpod can not only enhance your student engagement and learning in your classroom, but how it can also help you gauge student learning. At the very least, it's a nifty way to spice up your typical PowerPoint presentations. And what's great about Nearpod is that it's adaptable to both PowerPoint and Google Slide platforms. So it doesn't matter which one of those presentation tools you're using, Nearpod will take them both. So let me show you just a little bit about how Nearpod works. So first we want to go to Nearpod's website. So we will type in Nearpod. I don't even have to finish it. It's already here for me. Now when your students go to join Nearpod, this is the same site they'll go to, and they'll have to enter a code that is provided to you through your Nearpod. There are three levels of Nearpod. There's the basic free version, which is what I'm going to show you here. There's a silver version, which requires a little bit of payment, and then the gold version, which requires even more. My district is kind enough to give us a gold account, and I hope that yours will too as well. But I will show you the free version. If you don't have a Nearpod account, you'll need to sign up for free. I'm going to log in. I can sync with Google or Office 365, which is nice. I will choose my Fort Hays State University account, which shows that this is a free account. And now I'm going to create my own lesson. You can explore lessons that have already been created through the Nearpod, either the Nearpod team itself or other professionals who have shared theirs. Some of them are available for free, others cost either a silver or gold membership. We're going to create our own lesson. So right here, we're going to click Upload Files. Now, it doesn't matter if your PowerPoint is saved to your computer, you have Google Slides, you have a presentation saved to Dropbox, to OneDrive, from Box, wherever it's stored, Nearpod can take it. It's great. So I'm going to go to Google Drive because I have a Google Slides presentation that I want to upload into Nearpod. So I'm going to go through my stuff here. So here's a slide presentation that I typically just showed as a presentation on my projection screen, basically a lecture giving the students definitions of literary terms. So I'm going to select this. Depending on the size of your file will depend on how long you see things like this spin. This isn't the biggest file in the world, but it's more than a couple slides, so it's going to take a moment to import. So you may be asking yourself, well, if I already have my slides created on PowerPoint or Google Slide, why import them to this Nearpod thing? And I'll tell you that it's because it makes the lesson, the lecture, if you will, more interactive, and more learning can occur, and it definitely offers some formative assessment data for you to see as a teacher. One thing about Nearpod is that you're going to have to use this in a one-to-one classroom, preferably with an iPad or a laptop. So here's my Google Slide presentation that I typically just showed as a PowerPoint presentation, if you will, on the screen. So what we can do here is a few different things. We can add a slide, and this is what we're going to want to do. We're going to click Add Slide, and we're going to add an activity. So let's say we go over protagonist, antagonist, okay, perspective, and we start getting into first-person perspective. So my students write down that first-person perspective is I, me, myself, and all that good stuff. Well, maybe I want to engage them a little bit more and have them show me that they really do understand what a sentence looks like if it's in first-person perspective. So we'll add a slide. We'll go to Add Activity. We're going to create an open-ended question. And we'll say, write a sentence about your first year in high school using first-person perspective. We're going to create that slide, and it's going to come up here at the bottom, and we can put this anywhere we want. Usually this scrolls up a little bit better for me, but that's okay. So we'll put it right here, right after the first-person perspective one. All right. So we could do something like that after we teach second-person perspective. We can put a slide, have them write a sentence in second person, third person. So there's one thing you can do with Nearpod is put in open-ended questions and have the students respond to you, and you will get that information live, and you will be able to see the names of the students and what they're saying. And that information will also be saved to your Nearpod account, so you can access it at any time. You can also do something like this. We will do an activity. How about after we went over protagonist and antagonist, I want to ask them, I want to poll the class about an opinion. So we'll add a slide, and we'll add an activity, and we'll arrow over, and we'll add a poll. All right, we can ask a question like, who was the antagonist in Life of Pi? All right, we can say Richard Parker. We'll say nature. You can add more answers if you wanted here, as many as you like. We're just going to leave it at 2, and we're going to hit save. It's going to add that slide. It's down here at the bottom. I'm going to have to work it on up there. All right, it's going to go right there. All right, so we've got open-ended questions. We've got polls. You can do a quiz where you can ask them a question, give them multiple choice answers. All of this stuff, all of this data is reported back to you in live time. I don't have the time to show you all of the activities, but I want to show you what this looks like from a student perspective. Literary terms, we'll save that. It's going to be for 9th grade. And we'll put it under English. So that's saved there. And while that's saving, I'm going to show you now what this looks like. So you can present this as a live lesson where you control the pace of these slides. It's just like with the PowerPoint or Google slide presentation. You've got your clicker, and you slide through the slides, and all of the slides, instead of just being projected on your screen, it's going to be projected on every screen for every student. So every student has what's on this projector screen right in front of them. So you can control that pace, or you could create a lesson where it's the student paces it, and they control when they go to the next slide and when they don't go to the next slide. And that's also very beneficial in the classroom. You can click on preview, and you can see what this looks like from a student perspective. So as you're clicking through, this is what is going to show up on their computer screen. It's also on your projection screen. All right, here's that poll that we put in. I'm going to say that nature was more of an antagonist, and then there'll be an option for them to click submit. And when they submit that information, it goes straight to you, the teacher, and then you can then push that information back out to the students. After the students have completed the poll, there'll be a pie graph that's being created live for you on your teacher's screen, and you can push that the results of the students' class in the form of a graph back out to them, and they can see what they answered, and they can see what the majority of the class answered, and then you can discuss what's the right answer and why. Same with the quiz results. You can see student results, what they're doing, how they're answering. If you have students with the short answer stuff, like first-person perspective sentence that they have to write right here, as they come in live, once you've gotten them all, you can push them back out to the students. You can show them examples of their writing. You can either keep that anonymous, or you can keep their names attached. It's up to you. But bottom line is Nearpod is a fantastic tool. Right here, we've been exploring and applying instructional design principles to create innovative digital learning environments that engage and support learning. That's ISTE 5C. And ISTE 7B is using technology to design and implement a variety of formative and summative assessments that accommodate learner needs and provide timely feedback to students to inform instruction.